What's going on, guys? My name is Savage2723 and today I'm bringing you 5 tips on how to play better as infantry in the game Postscriptum. Now without further ado, roll the intro. Let's start off the video with tip number 1. Always be on the move. Now this point is especially important for the defending side. If you're sat in a building taking out infantry, you should be moving every time you take out your 5th enemy, because sooner or later the enemy's going to flank your position and take you out. It's always a good idea to keep checking your back every now and then, just in case someone is following you. If you are wary that someone is following you, make sure your gun's fully reloaded and your stamina bar is kept up to its top. You'll know if your gun's fully reloaded by looking at the bottom right corner of your screen and seeing the small icon of a bullet. If it shows white, your gun is fully loaded. If it shows yellow, your magazine is half full. If it shows red, you've reached the end of your clip. Tip number 2. Keep your stamina up. The bar in the bottom right corner of your screen is the stamina bar. If the bar falls below a certain number, you won't be able to zoom in while you're aiming, and in some cases, you're not allowed to aim with your gun at all until the bar is filled up slightly. So it's vital you keep this topped up with your canteen whenever possible. Without a canteen, the stamina bar will regen slowly, but crouch walking and crawling will actually stop this. Walking is the only thing that won't prevent the stamina bar from regenerating, providing you do not sprint. You should keep an eye on this bar, as accelerated crawling, crouching and running plus vaulting will deplete it. One last thing to deplete your stamina bar is being under suppressive fire by the enemy. When this happens, it will deplete your stamina bar as long as you're under suppressive fire. This will also make your rifle sway left to right in an uncontrollable manner. So keep your head down and wait for the enemy to reload before popping your head up. Tip number 3. Communication. Now I said it in my last video, and I'm also going to say it in this one as well. But keep talking. The worst thing you can do is go silent on everyone. If you're not a squad leader, if you're in someone else's squads, update them on positions of enemies. If you find a rally, let them know that and say you're going to blow it up. If you see a tank and it's right next to you, tell your squad leader to put a tank marker on your position. Then if they ask if it's stationary and you say yes, the commander can also call in an artillery strike on that tank. Small and simple things like that can really benefit your team in the long run. Strong communication within a team will also allow you to tackle the enemy in a more effective way, such as a pincer movement, where the squad leader might ask you to split into 2 sections. One goes straight towards the enemy, whilst the other go around the back, cutting them off and encircling the enemy. Tip number 4. Stick to cover. If you're trying to cross an open field, don't just go straight across it, you're too exposed that way. Take the longer route through the bushes, that way you can actually spot infantry yourself who are crossing the open field. It's also advisable to actually go prone or crouched when going through the bushes, as you won't make as much noise this way. An example of using cover is when I approach these houses and I receive fire from the enemy, so I hide in the bush to try and hide myself from them, but I still take damage, so I rush into the house and wait for them to come to me. From this position they can only come through one way, and that's the front door, so I wait for the guy to come up the hill before shooting him.
Oh, they are.
Tip number 5. Know your weapon. If your gun happens to be bolt action, remember how many bullets you can fire before reloading. You should also try memorizing distances such as 100 meters, 200 meters and 300 meters. Then you can adjust your bullet drop by holding X on the keyboard and scrolling with your mouse wheel. If your rifle happens to have a bipod, use it whenever possible. It will reduce your recoil dramatically, and you'll be sure to land more kills that way. On another note, don't just stick to one weapon. Be versatile. If you learn how to use all weapons in the game, you'll be more than a match for any opponent. Before I began recording this clip, I wasn't that well acquainted with the rifle I had in my hands, but I quickly learned that hip fire for short range targets is the way to go, as well as aiming in for longer shots such as this headshot.
Spawn in and go to this spawn over here where he has Germans all over the place.
Even at my position, there are Germans.
Bonus tip: if you hear gunfire, don't go running straight towards it. I see so many players doing it, and it pretty much is the average Post-Scriptum player who hears gunfire and thinks, oh, how many kills can I get from this? It doesn't always work out that way. You will have to go about things in a strategic way. Take this clip for example. I hear a sniper in the area, so I go and check it out by flanking him, making sure I'm going through the back door, not the front. I go upstairs, see him sniping from the building. He doesn't even realise I'm there. This is also why you should have your sound effects turned up. If you can hear anyone creaking about the floorboards, then you have more chance of finding them before they find you. Bonus tip, linking back to tip number 4, always check your surroundings, make sure you're not too exposed. In this footage here, there's a guy checking the building after I take down the first two. If he chose to hide behind the sandbags then aim into the doorway, then it would have been a lot more difficult for me to actually get him, but him and his teammate were exposed from all sides, so it was 2 very easy kills.
Réalisateur. Okay, we lost it.
Now I'm not usually an infantry player, I prefer armour myself, but there you go. 5 tips on how to improve your skills as infantry section. I quite enjoyed this match. I ended up finishing with 19 to 14. I do find this map is more one-sided towards the French, but it was still really enjoyable, and we won it anyway, so I'm quite happy with that. But that's it from me guys. I hope you enjoyed the footage. If you did, be sure to check out my other videos. And feel free to like and subscribe for more action-packed content just like this. Take care guys, and as always, I will see you on the battlefield.